So guys, today we got the Harbor Freight hatchet. It seems like it'll be a pretty good hatchet, but we're gonna do a couple modifications. First and foremost, the first thing I noticed that I really didn't like was this edge. We can see that edge is very small. Not only that, but it's more rounded than anything, and it isn't even all the way around. So we're gonna bring this back about a 1/2 inch and make that an actual nice, more tapered edge. Better for cutting into things, stuff like that. We're gonna also get rid of this up here so we can expose this wood, so we can get some boiled linseed oil in there so it really penetrates and helps tighten up that head a little bit. Anyways, other than that, it has pretty good wood grain in the handle. It runs up and down, which is what you want in a hatchet or an axe. What I want to do is remove these stickers, get rid of the coating they put on the outside of this wood, and just make this thing what it should be. For $12, can we make this a good hatchet? Well, let's find out. Let's get right to it. Go ahead and take my little knife here, and I'm gonna scrape this handle, just kind of scrape that stuff off of there. All right guys, I got the stickers off of the handle. I went ahead and scraped it with my knife. Now I'm gonna take some 150 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna hit this whole handle with it really good. And then after that, we'll get on to shaping that blade and getting this off the top. We'll get right into it. So as you guys can see, we're kind of getting that a little higher. Now keep in mind, whenever you're sanding on this, I keep my fingers on this at all times, bare fingers, just so I can see if that metal's heating up or not. The reason you don't want to get this metal too hot is it can lose its temper. So I always keep my fingers on there, and as long as I can keep my bare fingers on there while I'm grinding that down, it's good. But if that gets hot where you can't touch it, stop, let it cool down, and slowly put your edge on there. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out, and we'll get to it. So guys, I got my edge profiled a little better. I got the back of this exposed. Now I'm gonna flatten this head out a little bit, and we'll get onto the finishing of this, getting that edge in there a little more, and we'll get right to it. So guys, we got our edge thinner and better. I sanded off all that paint. I cannot stand a hatchet head with paint on it. I don't know why, I just don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. It just, I don't know, something about it. I know it's there to protect the metal. I know it does protect the metal, but I just can't stand it. So what I'm gonna do now is I have some etching acid. I'm gonna take some of that and put on this metal just to give it a little darker hue. Then we'll get this edge shaped up, and we'll move on from there. Well guys, I have to say, so far I'm pretty happy with how she's turning out. I've got the look I want on the head itself, and I know that paint really helps to protect the head. But honestly, if you keep this head oiled and not wet, you should be fine. Anyways, we got this, both edges nice and equal. is tapers. It comes to it's a more wide point. I don't really know what to call it. It ain't so much of a wedge in the front. They have this tip so small that it, you know, it doesn't really have a good slicing factor. Right now we can put an edge on this very easily. So now what I want to do is burn this handle in a little bit. I got that lanyard hole drilled there, and yeah, so let's go ahead and burn this in, put some boiled linseed oil on it, and do our thing. Check it out. After charring, I charred this and I charred up here. This is gonna get like a cover on it, but anyways, I charred it. I like the charred look. Not only that, but after sanding this with that 150 grit, you can really feel grip. It's got a lot of grip to it, and I like it. Another thing I really like about these Harbor Freight hatchets is the handles. The handle profile feels great right there, especially if you really want to get up close to it. Feels great if you want to do some fine tuning. It fits my hand perfectly. I'm not like a giant dude with big giant hands. I have, I think, normal size hands, but that's not bad at all. Anyways, we're ready to oil this guy up, put our guard on here, get his little lanyard dude going. Man, we're real close. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we will get right into it. So guys, the audio probably got kind of crappy there for a minute. I left my microphone inside and forgot it, but this is what we got. Sunnyside boiled linseed oil. I had a bottle of this, but I can't find it anywhere. And my mouth is all blue because I ate a blue candy cane. So let me show you how much this boiled linseed oil is gonna transform this handle, guys. I'm just using an old junky rag. Go ahead and get some of this oil out on this rag here. Whoa, I just made a mess all over my hand, but oh well. Anyways, you can apply this with your hand also. You don't have to use a rag. It's just boiled linseed oil. It ain't gonna hurt you. Go ahead and coat everything real good with it. And I also do the head of my hatchets with this stuff as well. So I do the head, the handles, whole 9 yards. Look at that, that already transformed the look of that. It darkens that grain up. It really gets into that wood. I'm gonna do a couple coats of this linseed oil, and I'm also gonna go ahead and do the head a little bit. Give me a coat of oil on the head. And that, when that boiled linseed oil dries on that head, it puts an extra layer of protective coating on there. And this thing is, it'll be super hard for this to rust. I've got a boy's axe that I've done this to, and yeah, it's really nice. Anyways, we're gonna let this sit on this handle a little and absorb, and then we're gonna hit it a couple more times, and we're gonna move on to doing the rest. But yeah, I'm really liking the way this thing's turning out, guys. Look at that. That's nice. Really like that. Anyways, we'll be back. So guys, this guy's gonna go on here, just like so. We're just gonna sew this back here, nice and tight onto there, and it'll be nice. So let's go ahead and get that stitched on, then we'll work on our lanyard. Well guys, I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked with how this guy turned out. My voice is kind of going. I'm coming down with something, but look at that thing, man. That thing's a piece of artwork. It's beautiful. I love it. It's pretty crazy. You could take a $12 Harbor Freight hatchet and turn it into that. I put the leather cover here. Got that all on, and I just put a little dangly there. I mean, you could put a lanyard on it if you wanted, but I just don't need that. This thing's a razor blade. I made that edge wider, as you can see, and I sharpened it up. I honed it up last night, and I sliced my finger with it this morning, putting some oil on it. But now what I want to do, I'm gonna chop into a couple pieces of wood and see if this edge holds up decently. I know it's a razor blade right now, but look at that, man. I love it. I think that looks great, and that's awesome for $12. So let's get into it. Let's see how it does with the slice test, how good it cuts. All right, guys, so let's see how good this guy cuts and holds that edge up. Highly impressed, guys. Highly impressed. Well, y'all, I gotta say, for $12, I'm very impressed. I'm impressed with that steel. I'm out of breath. I'm definitely getting sick. I can feel that edge is still razor sharp. Super impressed with that, y'all. I definitely highly recommend going out, buy you a $12 Harbor Freight hatchet, and do this to it. But hey, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And if you will, show your appreciation, like, comment, and as always, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.